Welcome back, dear students. Now I am here again for chapter 3rd, interactions of genes. So after completion of second chapter, Mendelism, we come towards the chapter 3rd, interactions of genes. In this chapter we are going to study two types of genetic interactions, that is non-epistatic genetic interactions and epistatic genetic interactions. In addition to this, we are also going to study the lethal genes. In the previous chapter, we studied the Mendel's monohybrid and dihybrid crosses. So we come close to know that what is monohybrid cross. Mono, that is a single. When a cross is made for a single pair of contrasting character, for example, a cross is made between tall and dwarf plant, such cross is called as the monohybrid cross. Another one is a dihybrid cross. When a cross is made for two pairs of contrasting characters, such cross is known as dihybrid cross. For example, a cross is made between two parents, that is yellow round and green wrinkled seeds. So such cross we referred it as dihybrid cross. So in these crosses, if we consider the monohybrid cross, two alleles of a single gene interact in various ways to determine the single phenotypic trait of an organism, such as one allele of a single gene might show simple dominance over the action of other allele which was recessive. For example, in case of a cross between tall and dwarf plant, only one character appear in the F1 generation. So the allele for tallness get expressed, such allele we called as dominant allele. It get expressed means it suppress the effect of another allele that we called as a recessive allele. So one allele get expressed, that allele we called as a dominant allele, while the other which remain unexpressed we called as a recessive allele. So in such type of interaction, one allele shows a complete dominance over the action of the other allele. The previous one we call it as dominant allele and the latter which is recessive allele. So dominant allele shows complete dominance over the action of the other allele which was recessive. Or in incomplete dominance, we seen that the both alleles might have incomplete dominant relationship. Means the dominant allele which not able to completely mask the phenotypic expression of the recessive allele, as a result of which an intermediate phenotype has been appear in the F1 generation. So for example, a cross has been made between red flower and white flowered plants, then in F1 hybrid we get pink flowered plant. So this is happen because of the incomplete dominance of the dominant allele over the recessive allele, and as a result of this, the dominant allele does not completely mask the phenotypic expression of the recessive allele. So as a result of this, it produces an intermediate phenotype, that is the pink colored flower. So such type of relationship we refer it as incomplete dominance. So these kinds of genetic interactions occur in between the two alleles of a single gene which are located on the same chromosome are referred as intra-allelic genetic interaction. So intra-allelic genetic interactions are those genetic interactions where the two alleles of a single gene which are located on the same chromosome where interact with each other, they show complete or incomplete dominant relationship. Such type of genetic interactions are called intra-allelic genetic interactions. So these kinds of genetic interactions occur in between the two alleles of a single gene are referred as intra-allelic genetic interaction. So as a result of intra-allelic genetic interaction, it gives the classical monohybrid ratio of 3:1 and a dihybrid ratio of 9:3:3:1. So that we seen in the previous chapter. When a cross is made between tall and dwarf plant in F1 generation, we get only tall plant. When F1 are selfed in F2 generation, we get 3 tall and 1 dwarf plant in the ratio of 3:1. So this ratio we call it as monohybrid ratio. While in case of a dihybrid cross, a cross has been made between yellow round and green wrinkled parent. In F2 generation, we get the progeny in the ratio of 9:3:3:1. So these are classical Mendelian ratio. Monohybrid ratio is 3:1 and dihybrid ratio is 9:3:3:1. In addition to this, the independent genes located on the same or different chromosomes interact with one another for the expression of a single phenotypic trait of an organism is said to be interallelic genetic interaction. So in addition to the intraallelic genetic interaction, some other types of genetic interaction are also seen in between the genes which are located on the same or different chromosome. So these independent genes located on the same or different chromosome interact with one another for the expression of a single phenotypic trait of an organism without cumulative effect. So such type of genetic interactions are referred as interallelic genetic interactions. So interallelic genetic interaction are seen in those genes which are independent, located on the same or different chromosome. These genes interact with one another. So various types of interactions are seen. Some are complementary, some interactions are the duplicate interactions. So they interact with one another for the expression of a single phenotypic trait or a character of an organism is said to be interallelic genetic interactions. So in this chapter we are going to study these genetic interactions, that is interallelic genetic interaction. These interallelic genetic interactions has been takes place between the independent genes located on the same or different chromosomes. These genes interact with one another for the expression of a single phenotypic trait of an organism is said to be interallelic genetic interaction, while the intraallelic genetic interaction takes place between the alleles of a single genes which are located on the same chromosome. These are the two alleles of a single gene. They are interact in various way to show complete or incomplete dominant relationship. Such type of interaction we previously seen as intraallelic genetic interaction. But in this chapter we are going to study the interallelic genetic interaction. These genetic interactions are different from those seen in the Mendelism. Okay. Next to this is the interactions of gene. When a trait or a phenotype is controlled by the combined action of two or more than two pairs of different these are non-allelic genes, it is known as interaction of genes. What do you mean by allele? Allele is an alternative form of a gene. For example, a gene for height in the plant is the we write as a T gene. Okay, so two alleles, the plant if it is tall we say the two alleles capital T capital T. These are the alleles of a single gene. Okay, now here we are considering the non-allelic gene. There are two different genes. For example, a gene C and another one gene is the E. So these two genes having the alleles, for example, capital C, small e. So these are non-allelic genes. These genes having no any alternative form of a single gene. Such alleles we call it as a non-alleles or non-allelic genes. For example, here when a trait or phenotype is controlled by the combined action of two or more than two pairs of different non-allelic genes, it is known as interaction of genes. Okay. Next to this is the due to the interactions of the genes. These interactions are interallelic genetic interaction. So due to the interallelic genetic interaction, the basic Mendel's ratio, that is monohybrid ratio 3:1 and a dihybrid ratio 9:3:3:1 are modified. Like for example, in case of complementary genes it is 9:7, while in duplicate gene it is seen as 15:1 and so on in other types of genes. So due to the interallelic genetic interaction, the basic Mendel's ratio has been modified into the different combinations. For example, in case of complementary genes it is 9:7, in duplicate genes 15:1. So such genetic interactions we are going to study in this chapter. When the basic Mendelian ratios are revised or modified due to the interactions of genes, it is referred to as neo-Mendelism. It is new than the Mendel, so it is new to the Mendelism. So such type of interaction are referred as neo-Mendelism when the basic Mendelian ratios are revised or modified due to interallelic genetic interaction. It is referred to as neo-Mendelism. Now we are going to study non-epistatic genetic interaction. So this phenomenon was discovered by Batson and Punnett in fowls. Gene interaction may also occur without epistasis. So what is epistasis? Epistasis is one of the phenomenon where one gene masks or suppress the action of the other gene. One gene masks or suppress the action of the phenotypic action of the other gene. This phenomenon is called as the epistasis. So here it is non-epistatic. Here no one gene can mask the expression of the other gene. Here the interaction of two non-allelic genes. Non-allelic means these are the different genes. The interaction of two different genes influencing the same phenotypic character can give rise to entirely new phenotypes that neither of the genes by itself could produce. So there are two genes. So each gene having its usual phenotypic effect, but these two genes influencing the same character and can give rise to entirely new phenotype that neither of the genes by itself could produce. That single gene independently not able to produce such a new phenotype, but when these two genes are present together, they produce or express an entirely new phenotype. So such interactions are non-epistatic genetic interaction. No one gene can mask or suppress the phenotypic expression of the other gene, but they interact with each other in such way to produce or express an entirely new phenotype that neither of the gene singly or independently or by itself could produce. So such interactions we referred it as non-epistatic genetic interactions. So for example, we take here the complementary gene. The ratio is 9:7. Sometimes trait or character is produced by the interaction of two or more pairs of different non-allelic dominant genes inherited from the parents and are situated in separate chromosomes. They complement to one another. Such genes are called complementary genes. So what happen here? Sometime a phenotypic trait or a character is produced by the interaction of two or more pairs of different, we also say it as non-allelic dominant gene. Okay, these genes has been inherited from the parents obviously, and they are situated in separate chromosome. So these dominant genes interact with one another, complement to one another. Such genes are called complementary gene. They complement, they help to each other. Such genes are called as complementary genes. So there are two or more pairs of non-allelic dominant gene which are located on separate chromosome inherited from the parents, complement or help to one another. Such genes are called complementary gene. The particular phenotypic trait is produced only when both the dominant genes has been present in the parent or in the individual. So such genes help one another, complement one another. Such genes are called as complementary gene. So in this case, one dominant gene acts as the actual determiner and the other gene acts as the initiator or supporter. So there are two genes, two dominant gene. The presence of one dominant gene act as a determiner while the presence of the other gene act as a initiator. If both the dominant genes are present, then and then they can able to produce the particular or a new phenotype. In the absence of any one of these, only one dominant gene, for example, actual determiner has been present, while the initiator or supporter is absent. So in this case, it is not able to produce the particular new phenotype. Both dominant gene which function as an actual determiner and initiator should be present in the individual, then and then it can produce the entirely new phenotype. So such genes we call it as a complementary genes. Neither of the dominant gene alone is sufficient to produce that character or a trait, because one gene completes its action with the help of other gene. So these dominant gene independently or alone are not able to produce that character or a trait. Because why they are not able to produce or express that character or a trait? Because one gene completes its action with the help of other gene. So the help for one gene has been required by the other gene. So these two dominant genes should be present in the individual, then and then it can produce that particular character or trait. Neither of a dominant gene alone or independently can able to produce that character or trait. Both genes are required for help to each other, then and then they can complete its action to produce the entirely new phenotype. When two or more non-allelic dominant genes are present alone, and then each gene produces its own trait or a character, but when these two genes are present together, they interact and produce or express a different phenotypic trait. Such genes are known as complementary genes. These are, for example, two non-allelic dominant genes. If they are present alone, then each gene produces its own effect or character. This gene can able to produce its effect or character. But for entirely new phenotype, these two genes has been present together, they interact, complement with each other and produce or express a different or entirely new phenotypic trait. Such genes are known as complementary genes. Okay. So both dominant alleles, when present together, complement each other and produce a different phenotype. So a case of such complementary inheritance resulting from the combined action of complementary genes is known in sweet pea Lathyrus odoratus. So here we are going to take an example of a sweet pea plant where the dominant alleles, when present together, complement each other and produce a different phenotype. So this is an example of complementary genes, and the F2 phenotypic ratio is 9:7. So what happened here, when a pure line variety of white flowered sweet pea that is the Lathyrus odoratus, was crossed with another pure line variety of white flowered sweet pea, in F1 purple flower plants were produced. So in this case, the parents are white flowered. When two such parents are crossed with one another, then in F1 a different entirely new phenotype has been appeared, that is the F1 is purple flowered. So this is happen because of the complementation of the two genes to produce the colored flower. And when these F1 plants are self-pollinated or cross among themselves, produce the F2 generation with the phenotypic ratio of 9 purple and 7 white flower plants. So this is the new to the Mendelism. So it is referred as neo-Mendelism. The Mendel's dihybrid ratio 9:3:2, 3:1 has been modified into 9:7 by these complementary genes. So this is the neo-Mendelism, and these genes are non-allelic, located on the separate chromosome. So such genetic interaction we call it as interallelic genetic interactions. So what happened here, when a pure line variety of white flowered sweet pea plant was crossed with another pure line variety of white flowered sweet pea, in F1 generation the purple flowered plants were produced. And when these purple flowered F1 plants are self-pollinated or crossed among themselves produce the F2 generation with the phenotypic ratio of 9 purple and 7 white flowered plants. So to understand these results, we have to study the mechanism. The mechanism gives the answer of a question how this is happen, how in F2 generation 9 purple and 7 white flowers are appeared, how in F1 generation only purple flowered plants are appeared. So this can be understood by analyzing the mechanism of color production in flowers. So what happen here, a given enzyme acts upon chromogen to produce the purple color of flowers. So purple color flower production depends on an enzyme which act upon the chromogen, which is a base required for the color production. So chromogen is a base required for the color production on which an enzyme has been act. So when both these things are happen, then purple color of the flower has been produced in F1 progeny. The dominant allele or alleles capital CC or capital C small c of gene C are responsible for the presence of chromogen, while the homozygous recessive allele, that is small cc of this gene, are responsible for the absence of chromogen. So the presence of chromogen has been determined by the dominant allele, for example capital C small c. Here in this case one allele is dominant, or when both the alleles are dominant, for example capital C C. Okay, so this is the gene C when the alleles are, both the alleles are dominant alleles, capital C, or only one allele is dominant, capital C small c. These are responsible for the presence of chromogen, that is a colored base. Okay, while the homozygous recessive allele small cc of this gene not able to produce the chromogen, so it is responsible for the absence of the chromogen. So one can say that when the dominant allele it is present in the individual, it can able to produce the chromogen. It shows the presence of the chromogen. And when no dominant allele, means when all the alleles are recessive, this gene is responsible for the absence of chromosome. The individual is not able to produce the chromogen. Likewise, the dominant alleles of gene E in homozygous or heterozygous conditions cause the production of an enzyme. Similar thing here I am going to discuss. And another one gene, that is the E gene. In homozygous means both alleles are dominant, homozygous dominant, and another one is a heterozygous dominant, only one dominant allele has been present. So when the dominant alleles of a gene E in homozygous or heterozygous condition caused the production of an enzyme which is necessary for the color production from chromogen. Okay, so this enzyme is required for the color production from a colored base, that is the chromogen. So when enzyme act on a chromogen, it produces a color, while homozygous recessive, that is small ee condition, does not produce any such enzyme. So homozygous recessive individual are not able to produce the enzyme. Similar is the case of homozygous recessive allele small cc of this gene are not able to produce the chromogen. When both the genes C and E are homozygous recessive in the individual, in such individual there is absence of chromogen and enzyme also. Okay, while when the dominant allele, for example capital C and the dominant allele for a gene E, that is capital E, both are present in the individual, that individual can able to produce both, that is the chromogen and enzyme. When the individual can able to produce both chromogen and enzyme, so such individual it is colored flowered. This individual can able to produce the purple colored flower. So this mechanism has been based on the two genes, that is the C and E gene. C stands for chromosome producing gene. E stand for an enzyme produced by the gene. Okay, C for chromosome, E for enzyme. When both C and E genes are dominant in the individual, such individual can able to produce the enzyme. How? This presence of dominant C gene or C allele in the individual can produce the chromosome. Similarly, if the dominant allele E is present in the individual, it can produce the enzyme. So when both the genes are present, when both the dominant alleles are present in the individual, that individual can able to produce both chromosome and enzyme. This enzyme act on the chromosome to produce the colored flower. Okay. While on the other hand, these homozygous individuals, homozygous recessive individuals for both gene C and E are not able to produce the chromosome and enzyme. So such individuals produce the white colored flowers. Okay. So here a cross is made between white flowered sweet pea plant and another one pure line variety of white flowered pea plant. Both the parents having white flower. How both the parents having white flower? If we see the genotype, one parent having a genotype of capital C, small e, while the other parent having a genotype of small c, capital E, Here only one gene is dominant. In case of first parent, the gene dominant is the C gene, while in other parent the dominant gene is E, due to which only one dominant gene has been present in the allele in the parent, either C or E. Due to this, the parents are white flowered. Here when both the genes are present, when both the dominant alleles are present in the parent, then we say that parent can able to produce the colored flower. But here the parents use for a cross having white flowered because it having only a single dominant gene. In the first parent, there is a only one dominant gene, that is the C. In the other parent, there is an one dominant gene, but the gene is E gene. Okay. So both the parent develop white flowers only because one parent lacks dominant gene C and the other parent lacks the dominant gene E. Thus both the parent develop white flowers only. And when their genotype is either capital C, small e, another one having small cc and capital E. Okay. So when the parents are such type, then it can able to produce the white flower. Why they are produce white flower? Because both the dominant alleles are not present in the genotype of the parent. So the phenotype is white flower. Now such white flower parents are crossed with one another to produce the F1 progeny. So the gamete from the first white flower parent is capital C, small e, from another parent small c, capital E. These gametes when fuse in the process of fertilization to produce the F1 hybrid having genotype capital C, small c, capital E, small e, and the resulting phenotype is purple flowered. So the purple flower is produced because of the two dominant alleles of a two different gene has been present here. The genes are C and E, and the dominant allele for both the genes C and E has been present in the F1 hybrid, due to which F1 hybrid having purple colored flower. While the parent lacks any one of the dominant allele in the genotype, here in case of this parent, it having only one dominant allele for a gene C, while the other dominant allele for a gene E has been absent or lacks in the white flowered flower. Similar is the case in this parent also, only one dominant allele for a gene E is present, while the recessive allele for the C gene is present. So due to the presence of only one dominant allele, the plant produce the white flowers. But in case of F1 hybrid, both the allele, both dominant allele for a gene, dominant allele for the both the genes has been present, due to which the F1 hybrid having purple flowers. So this sweet pea plant producing purple flower contain both complementary non-allelic dominant genes, namely C and E. So in F1 hybrid, both the dominant non-allelic genes has been present, that is the C and E, because of which the F1 hybrid having purple flower. Whereas the sweet pea plant producing white flowers contains either dominant gene C or its non-allelic dominant gene E. So from these results, it is obvious that purple color of the flower is due to the interaction of two complementary non-allelic dominant genes, namely C and E. When these non-allelic genes are present, means when these dominant non-allelic genes are present in the individuals, these genes complement one another, means these genes help to one another. How they help? If the dominant C is present, then it can able to produce the chromosome. When the dominant E is present, then it can produce the enzyme. When both these genes are present, chromosome and enzyme are produced, the result is purple flowered plants. Okay. So whereas the sweet pea plant producing white flowers contain either a dominant gene C or non-allelic dominant G only. Both the genes are not present in such plants. Due to this, these plants having white flowers. But when both the dominant genes has been present in the individual, they complement one another, they help to one another to complete the phenotypic action to produce the purple flower. So from these results, it is concluded that the purple color of the flower is due to the interaction of two complementary non-allelic dominant genes, namely C and E. So when this F1 has been crossed among themselves, we get the gametes. So here the gametes are produced like this. The capital C, small c, capital E and capital small e we separate here from this parent. We get the different combination. So capital C may get associated with the capital E to produce a gamete, capital C E. This capital C may get associated with a small e, it produces the gamete, capital C small e. The another one, small c, may associate with the capital E to produce the gamete, small c, capital E. Again, this small c may associate with the small e to produce a gamete having small c and small e. Okay, so these are the gametes produced by the selfing of the F1 progeny. So we get the gametes, same gametes from both the parents. So these are the gametes from the capital C, small c, capital E, small e, and these are the gametes from the other parent, because we are performing the selfing, cell pollination and fertilization. The pollens of the flower has been falls on the stigma of the same flower, that we called as self pollination. In short, it is selfing. They are cross among themselves. So after the formation of the gametes, these gametes are combined with each other. So there are how many gametes? 4 gametes, 4 from this parent, these 4 from this parent. So these are combined with each other in various way to produce the 4 into 4, 16 different combinations. So the F2 generation form having 16 genotypes. So see the table. So these are the male parents showing the gametes of 4 types. These are the gametes of the female parents. So when they combine with each other, this capital CE combine with the capital CE during the process of fertilization, it produces the progeny capital CCEE. Here also this combination make the different combinations of the alleles. So in the parent, in this case, the genotype is capital CCEE, where the phenotype is purple. How it is purple? Because both the genes are dominant here, due to which it can produce the chromosome and enzyme. They combine with each other to produce the purple flower. This enzyme act on the chromosome to produce the purple colored product, that is the anthocyanin. So due to which the flower color is purple. Here is also two genes are two alleles are dominant, one allele E is dominant, due to which the purple color. Here also any two are if dominant, it produces the purple color. In this case the flowers are white because only one allele C is dominant here. The allele E is recessive, because of which the color of the flower is white. Similar is the case here also, only one allele C has been dominant. In this case only one allele E is dominant, others are recessive, because of which it having white color. So if you see the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation, it is 9 purple and 7 white. So this is the complementary genes. When both the genes are present in the genotype together, they can help to one another to complete the action of a production of a particular phenotypic trait. They complement to one another, they help to one another. So such type of genetic interaction, we referred it as here complementary genetic interaction, and the phenotypic ratio, F2 phenotypic ratio, is 9:7. So we can make it on a notebook also. Here the parents are, you have to take the notebook and write the parents. So which are the parents here? White flower that has been crossed with another one parent that also having white flower. Write this on your notebook. Parents, white flower cross with white flower. Now the genotype. What is the genotype here? We know that white flower is because of the presence of one dominant gene only, or one dominant alleles only. So here we write here capital C, small e, that has been crossed with a genotype small c, capital E. So in both the parent, it lacks one dominant allele. Both the dominant alleles are not here for two different genes. There are two genes C and E. So these genes are not dominant in any one of these parent, because of which the parents having white flower. Okay. Now the gametes. So gametes by the white flower, capital C, small e, by the other parent, small c, capital E. Okay. Now these gametes are fused with one another to produce F1 hybrid having a genotype of capital C, small c, capital E, small e. So because of the presence of two dominant non-allelic genes here, the phenotype is purple color, because here both the genes are present, C and E. This capital letter shows the dominant, a small letter, this is the recessive. So capital C, capital E is present in the F1 hybrid, because of which the flower is purple color. When this F1 is self capital C, capital E, small e, cross with capital C, capital E, small e, this we call it as selfing. The gametes are, so what are the gametes in this case? So the gametes from the parent here, capital C, capital E, then capital C small e. Now we go for the second letter. Here I am considering only the first letter of the gene C and E. Okay, here two genes C and E. I use this letter capital C. Then first letter of the another gene capital E. Okay, now again first letter of the first gene capital C, second letter of the second gene small e. Now here again second letter of the first gene, that is the small c. First letter of the second gene capital E. Then second letter of first gene small c. Second letter of the another gene small e. These are the gametes. Similar types of gametes are also produced here. Capital C, capital E, capital C, small e, capital C, small e, then small c, capital E, small c, small e. Okay, these are the gametes. So these gametes are fused with one another to produce the 16 different individuals. So if you take a table, so draw the table. Here these are the male gametes, capital CE, capital C, small e, small c, capital E, small c, small e. Now below this, these are the gametes for the female parent. Same gametes, capital C, capital E, capital C, small e, small c, capital small c, capital E, small c, small e. Okay, when these gametes are combined, so we get the genotype capital CCEE. Here capital CC, capital E, small e. Here capital C, small c, capital E. Here capital C, small c, capital E, small e. Now here is capital CC, capital E, small e, capital CC, small e, capital C, small c, capital E, small e. Here capital C, small c, small e. Here is capital C, small c, capital E, capital E. Capital C, small c, capital E, small e. Small cc, capital E, capital E. Small cc, capital E, small e. Here is capital C, small c, capital E, small e. Capital C, small c, small e, small e. Small cc, capital E, small e. Here all small cc e. So this is the F2 progeny. Now we are going to draw the phenotype of these genotypes. Okay, so all are dominant here, so it can produce the purple color, because this presence of C allele can able to produce the chromogen, while the presence of dominant E allele can produce the enzyme. So when both are present, the enzyme act on the chromogen to produce a colored flower, that is the purple colored flower. Here also the genotype is purple. In this case also it is purple, because both the alleles are dominant here. If any one of the two alleles are dominant, then it is purple. Here also purple, both the alleles are dominant. Here is the white, because there is only one allele which is dominant. This E allele if it is dominant here, then we write the purple, but here it is recessive, we write white. Now is the purple. Here is white. Here is purple, because both the alleles are dominant. Again purple. Now it is white, because C is recessive. Here also white, because C is recessive. Both are dominant. Purple. Here E is recessive, so it is white. For color production we require both alleles are dominant, then and then it can produce the color. So what is the ratio here? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So F2 phenotypic ratio in this case it is 9 purple, and then count the white. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So there are 7 white. So this is about the complementary gene, and the F2 phenotypic ratio is 9:7. So this is the modification of the Mendel's dihybrid ratio, 9:2, 3:2, 3:1 into 9:7. So this is about the complementary genes. I hope you all of you understand this. Thank you. Be safe. Stay at home.